Hello everyone, this is Shaya for the session of customer journey. So today we are going to discuss about why it is so important the customer journey in today's business digital tool. So it has an ingredient of digitalization as well in this particular topic. So, in my first slide, it is what is actually a customer journey? If we are talking about a customer journey, it is like the customer is traveling from one place to another. That means that the customer is traveling from the brand to the company and to the various aspects about that product. So this is actually what is customer journey is, and that is what we understand through this slide, that this is always an effective that gives a clear vision from the customer point of view that what we need to improvise in our business tool, what the customer demands, what he wants from our product, from our brand, as well as from the company. So that is what it is described in 4 to 5 stages. That means it requires a feedback, rating, customer experience, and the examining, which all includes to make a customer journey. My second slide comprises of a simple example of a successful customer journey. So how do we do it? So I have taken an example of an hotel industry where they are having a 5 stages. That is means a physical evidence, then a customer actions, then the on-stage contact action, then the backstage, and the support process. So how will you describe this is a physical evidence? So when we are talking about a physical evidence, that requires when you are going have a stay in a hotel place, whether it is in your country or in other country. So what the first thing which comes in your mind, that is the website. What about the ambience, what about the staff, what about the rooms, what about the elevator service, what about the room decor, everything that comes in your mind, that comes in a physical evidence. Second, when you have seen all these things in the website of the hotel part, the name of the hotel where you are going to stay for a vacation, then the next action would be yours to make a reservation, arrive at the hotel, you see all the things. Because when you see all the physical evidence with your on your website and everything, when you are just clarified with everything that the hotel is good for your vacation, then you take the second action for the reservation. Then you arrive at the hotel, then make a and take a key, and uh, then you enter your room and you give a tip to a bell person. Third point is a on stage where whenever you arrived at the hotel, the person, the bellboy, always takes your bag. And the second part, you go to the reservation or the reception desk to register yourself that you have already done the booking in that particular hotel on this particular date for so many days and night. And then you ask in the reception to deliver the bags to your concerned room. This is an on-stage contact because you have arrived, and then the other formalities would be on the reception part. Third, the backstage contact action is that when you enter these hotel, when you make all the necessary stages in your booking for an hotel, then the second last step which comes, the hotel people always make that reservation according to your request what you have given on an online site. So that is what is a backstage, because this is an online stage where you are doing on a website, you are checking each and everything and arriving at the hotel, doing the registration part and everything. After that, the hotel person have to do the reservation according to your request. How would you like it? Means what all requests you have on it while you are staying at that particular hotel. Then the last point is the support process when your this reservation process is on that particular thing. Means the process registration part comes into that part where when you arrived at the hotel, so you have done all the booking, each and everything. But there is always, when you notice when you enter that particular hotel, there is always a form where you have to do the registration. Okay, these three people or four people are there with you, and you have booked two particular rooms. You required a Wi-Fi, you required a electronic kettle, and each and everything whatever you require. So this comes a form that we call as a process of registration of that particular client. So when these things comes into the stage of a successful customer, so these steps are always involved: physical evidence, customer actions on stage, because this is a journey, this is a type of a journey which is customer is going first to the physical by running into the website, getting all the details of that particular hotel, then the customer action, whether if he is satisfied, he makes a reservation. Third part would be the on stage when you arrived at the hotel, so all the service you get on that particular reception. Backstage, he always process your registration part and the support process whenever you require any service from the hotel while having a stay into that particular hotel. They will always try to help you, and that is what the support process it is with it, with your registration or whatever the service you required while you staying at that particular hotel. That makes a successful customer journey as well as for the business person, because when you give a good support to the customer, then the customer is really happy with your service and with your brand, with your product, each and everything. That is why when we are talking about the definition of a customer journey, it is actually traveling from one place to another. That always defined in such a way that always the customer has to travel from one place to another to get a good product, to have a good interaction with the brand, with the product, with the company. So that is where we call it as a customer journey. Third slide, which comes around with a scenario. This is a scenario where there is a girl named Sarah, where she's going to watch a movie with his or her friends. So now she's very excited to go with her friends to watch a movie. But can you tell me what would be her expectation in the first part when she decides to go for a movie with her friends? So the expectation she has already set in her mind that it should be a great movie, the staff should be friendly, and the seat should be very relaxing. That's what we understood the expectation. We all have these expectations when we go to a movie, whether that hall is good, whether the ambience is good, whether the staff is good. This all comes into particular every person's mind. I'm not talking about only Sarah, but we also, when I even go to watch a movie, so I'll always think these all parts, the expectations are always there that the movie should be good and the staff should be very friendly enough that they should support, should give the good service to them, and seat should be relaxing. So these expectation, I'm not talking about the Sarah, but we are talking about a common people where we have all these similar expectations when we are going to watch a movie. Now, in that scenario, also that includes four steps. So, first step is decide, second step is travel, third step is experience, and fourth step is return. So, what you understand by decide? So, when the point comes to decide, so now Sarah has to look around the movie, which is really good, which have a good reviews, which have a good story and everything. And second thing, she has to decide the place should be near to his place. Oh, that I will tell why she decide that the place should be near to his place. So the decision part would be she'll decide about the movie, and secondly, she decide about the movie theater which should be near to her home. Second point is travel. So when we have decided these things, second point would come to the travel, that she should not waste her time in traveling because she's meeting her friends after a long time and she want to spend a lot of time with her friends rather than waiting in a travel. And secondly, she doesn't want to waste the time in finding the friend. It should be like the moment she got into the hall, she should meet with her friend and she should have a good time over there. Third, the experience. So when I talk about the expectation, the experience should come like the movie should be great. When you're watching that movie, it should be relaxing. The ambience should be very good and the staff should be very good where she can relax and have a watch with a good movie with her good friends. Last point is a return. When you talk about the return, so why she was choosing near her house. The main thing is that she's going for a late night movie, and for that late night movie, the return should be when she is exists when she exists the hall. So her car should be at the exit rate, and she can drive home safely. That is what it is the thing when you go for a movie, for a late night movie. So these things always come to your mind, decide travel experience and return, because these things decide uh, each and everything, the movement of the customer. So when you're talking about these things, this is also a type of a customer journey where these things also come into the picture. Because when you want this is a scenario about a movie, but when you want to buy a certain product, so if it is not online or something like that, so you have to decide about that particular product, then you have to travel. And if you're traveling, that experience should be good to that particular place, and the returning should be good. So this is all when we are trying that. Okay, we decide to take a product, we have gone to the take travel to that particular website, or you're trying to visit that particular brand or a company, then you have purchased it, and then if it is not good and you want to return it, or these things always comes for a product. But in here, the scenario for these 4 points is for a movie theater where Sarah is enjoyed her movie with her friends, with a good staff, with a good ambience, with a good theater, as well as the theater was near to her. So this is what the customer journey is when she travels from one place to another, from one point to another, to get to the destination whatever she requires. Now, how should we do a customer analysis? How it helps the business? So, in my point of view, when the customer had purchased whatever the product or the brand of your company, so it has the customer experience, and when the customer requires some improvisation, or he or she is having some of uh, means suggestion for the particular product of your brand or the company, so you can visualize those experience, you can visualize those touch points, what the customer really wants from your product or a brand. You can understand, you should understand the customer pathways, what are the complex user experience. Even when the customer is making some request or a complaint, you should be really attentive, you should be really understand what actually the customer wants from you. And if you have tried to understand, and if you have tried to make it happen, and you have resolved that query for the customer, then the customer will be happy, and he will come back again and again for the repeat purchase. So that is why we do the analysis through these points, by the customer experience, their touch points, whatever they want, the improvisation in your brand or in your company, so that when you do it, and if you try to resolve the query or the request or the customer, then the customer would be happy, and he will come back again and again to do the repeat purchases on your website. So this is how the customer journey comes around when you're talking. The first line when I told about the customer journey is about the interaction with the brand or the company. That means it is traveling from one place to another. My second slide comprises of where this slide I would be firstly when I'm dealing with a case study. So I'll first come to the case study for the same. Just a second. So today I'm going with a case study of a supermarket, which is a likely ingredient of digitalization. When we are talking about a supermarket, so you all have an idea about what is supermarket. Supermarket already have each and every item in that particular thing, whether it is a food item, whether it is a uh, household things, whether it is a food, whether it is a beverage, anything. It is always there in a supermarket. So the second question which comes into your mind is what is a QR code in a grocery store? In a supermarket. So it is a virtual store where you have the picture of the items, where you can all the grocery items. You already have a lot of apps in your mobile where you can do a grocery shopping online, but there are also physical supermarkets where you go and use your phone to do the things online. So, in a QR code, when you talk about a virtual supermarket, you can just scan the product, you get the details, you get the item, whatever you require, and you can put it in your adding cart. So, that is why QR code is really important because you get all the details about the product which you're scanning it at that point of time when you have went to a supermarket or you are doing it online. So it always supermarkets always offer a wide variety of product dealing with the bakery products, household products, it's even stationery, beverages, food. So all the things you get at a one place when we are talking about a supermarket, and it always ensure that you have a safe shopping through this QR code. It should not go here and there, and that's why the customer should have a good experience while visiting your supermarket, and or if he or she is doing it online. Now second question or the second point which comes into your mind is how QR code is so useful in supermarket. So if I'm talking about why it is useful, now if you keep all the products into this shelf, so it doesn't have that meaning. Okay, every product is in the shelf, but if you're scanning it through a QR code, so you can get through that. Okay, what is in that particular shelf? What all the products are there? So you get a glance of there instead of searching. So that is what makes it useful. It gives the information about the products which are kept into that particular shelves. So it gives you what type of things. It gives a product information which I have told you. It gives about the prices, it gives about the warranty, it gives about the additional whatever it is required in that particular product. So that is why it is really important when you are talking about the digitalization as well as the customer journey, because these two make go parallelly hand in hand. Second point which comes into my mind, that is the inventory. In a supermarket is a huge variety of items, and you have to do uh, when you have to manage the entire inventory in that particular supermarket. So your point is come that if you do it manually, is it possible? Does it come into your mind that we can do it possible if you're running a supermarket? No, it is not possible. So how would you do it? Because when you do it, if you do it through a barcode part, so there are, when you are doing it scanning, when you're doing pay nowadays, everything is so digital that if you're doing a scanning part also, so there are some limitation to that particular barcode. Every product has a barcode, and you all know that when the inventory comes, the barcode comes with it. And but it has some limitation, like a limitation of information. The handheld scanner is also you required specifically for that particular product. So if the barcode is if the product is damaged or barcode is damaged, you can't scan it and you can't edit the information in that particular barcode. So nowadays, now these barcode are being replaced by QR codes because they are dynamic QR codes, and you can able to replace the information. You can put more and more information. You can even and try to get the videos into that particular product. So you have more, because that is a dynamic QR code. You can edit the information, you can add the information, but in a barcode you can't do it because there are certain limitations that we are talking about. So that is why in today's supermarket world, the QR code is coming to in a very high value, because the barcode cannot be used in such a manner, but QR code are replacing them in today's business too. So, second point, when you have a large number of products, so you also know about there in those products they have a different kind of coupons and discounts. You can't give it in all products, or you can't give it to anywhere. But into certain products, you can give certain coupons, certain discounts, so the customer would be happy. So, if I take my case also, I go to a supermarket, and if I get a good discount or some product which I'm trying to find, I'll be really happy. I'll be having a good experience where I can just have the discount on that particular product. So, if you are running a supermarket on a digital tool or in a physical manner also, and if the digitalization is a tool in it, so you can help to get a good customer experience through it. And where if you can add those coupon and discounts in that particular product, it makes you smooth run the business. Even you can get a better customer experience, and the customer will be really happy when you're trying to help it out. So in that coupons and discounts, the main thing is that the customer will not have to manually type that URL. It can be immediately after scanning it, it can go to the landing page where he or she can redeem that coupon or discount. Now, second point which comes in my mind is offer cashless payments. So you all know the contactless payments are now in today's really very hot cake nowadays, because when you are talking about contactless payments, so it is like the customer, they don't have to wait in a queues to do it. Yeah, they can just scan it. It is like a wallet. They can scan, get the transfer the money to the vendor, and then that makes a really easy part. So that's what the contactless payments are, and the customer is really happy with if they are having the contactless payments. They don't have, because nobody nowadays keep the payments hard cash in there, and it makes it easy for them. Okay, we can scan it and we can transfer the money at once, rather than finding the uh, amount which the vendor requires from you. So it is very easy that you can type that amount on your phone and you can offer that contactless, so you don't have to do anything. So in that sense, it is benefited for both the customer as well as the retail partners, even for the supermarket. So customer QR payment gives this end to end to the customer benefits, and as well as it benefits the retailers. Now, the second thing, which is the most important while shopping in your supermarket, how would you gather that feedback from the customer? So, whenever the customer is scanning or doing a purchase in your supermarket, after the shopping, you can create a QR code where, in that particular QR code, after purchasing, there should be a feedback form where uh, he or she can feel about the experience what she was having into your a supermarket, whether it is good or not, whether their were products were good in quality or not. So you can put a form over there after the purchasing so that the customer would be really, really happy. So, in this way, you can gather the feedback as well as you can have a customer engagement. Like if I am giving the option, that should be a seamless payment option, scanning to the adding the items in your cart, streamline of the account sign up, where if she wants it to create a new account for the supermarket, it should be really seamless, it should be not tiresome. And the main thing is the service which I'm talking about. If you are proactive in your service, dealing with the customer, whatever she requires from your supermarket, or if she wants any other product should be included or improvised. So if you are trying to help the customer, it makes the customer happy, and he or she will come back again and again for the repeat purchases. That is where the customer journey began. And that is why the supermarket is a virtual store, but it has the ingredient of a digital tool, because digital tool always plays a part in these ways, so that it makes helpful for the customers as well as for your business part. So I'm representing UX Living Lab. So my main point while I'm doing this, that is, our company is a market research consultant, where it is really easy to get the insight of the customers. We make a qualitative quantitative reports so that you can understand where your brand and the company stands. So the main purpose of our brand is to capture the customer feedback. So how do we do that? I'll explain you in this, that first, we there are really four easy steps. First, you need to create an QR code from our website, or I'll be giving it the link so that you can create the QR code. Then you can display this QR code to whatever the product service you required from us. Then the consumer can upload their feedback through this QR code, and plus they can even scan it, whatever the service they require. And after that, we will deliver all the views and even the report to you, whatever you required from us. So the four steps are just take a QR code, create your QR code, display it, what your service you required, you can upload your feedback, and we'll deliver your views and or the report which you required from us. Now, second point which comes to your mind, how do we analyze the feedback which we get from the customer, and how do we make that report to you? So first, we categorize whatever the feedback in terms of product or what you asked for, or we analyze how the customer is doing. It is about the pricing or it is about the product. So that is why we categorize. Then we try to, second step, we understand what is the customer's expectations about the product or the pricing. So first we categorize the product and pricing. Second, we'll understand the expectation, what is the expectation of the consumer. Third, we do the gap analysis, where we try to understand what the customer needs and what we can provide into it. When we do that analysis, when we are into a final stage, we can then necessarily inform the customer for the same. Okay, we can do that point and we can offer you such services. So this is how we do the analyzing and implementing the feedback for the consumers, because the consumers are really important, and this is a voice of consumers where you have to listen if you have to run the business on an online platform. So these are easy steps which we do as a market research consultant. We try to make more and more out of it so that the consumer should be happy, and it should be really interesting for them, and they should come back again and again if we give a good service. So this is all about that, how do we build better product for the consumer. We try to capture the product feedback, try to prioritize, even we try to get you each and everything so that it makes you easy to understand. So my company basically does this customer feedback QR code where you can just try it, and if you want any information about the product or anything, you can just let me know. I'll be providing a calendar link where you can just uh, give a date and a time, and we will connect with you so that we can understand what you want to know about it, what are the products, what is the pricing, and what all service we can provide you. That would be much easier. If you have any suggestions for it, you can also offer that. And this is what a site we call where you can look into it. I'll give you that QR code. You just see what all we can give you. We'll try to help you out in every phase of your business so that you can get better of your product. You can improvise it. We can give you a strategy where you can also try to create new ideas for your product, for your brand, for your company, and you can understand where actually your company is standing in today's market situation, because this is all depends upon the customer journey when we are talking. So what are the takeaways in it? So when we are talking about the customer journey, so customer journey is the takeaways are when you should be a very proactive, visualize each and everything about the customer experience, their touch points. Be a proactive when the customer have a query, complaint, request to your brand or the supermarket or anyway any business, because consumers are in every business and you require them. So these are the initial takeaways where you need to understand the customer well. You need to understand what are the query, what are complaints, and it is really necessary if you try to resolve their queries at the earliest so that the customer should be happy, and then he or she will come back for the repeat purchases for your brand, for your product, for your company, each and everything. So these are the takeaways, and please do have this QR code part in your business. That makes your business really easy. What we do, we are the market research. We'll try to help you out in every way so that you can get the customer insights for your business to grow it. And so I would suggest you, if you're running a supermarket, so you can put the QR code so you can get all these, you can gather the feedback, you can put a discounts over there, you can offer the contactless payments to the consumers, even you can do a customer engagement while doing accounts sign up, or cashless payments, or you can have the real time data for your consumers that can help you out in it. So I would suggest that these items should be added in your business, because this is a digital tool where it makes you easy to make it happen in your things, to make your business smooth and to grow more and more consumers. So that is why uh, we are trying to understand each and every part. And if you have any question further to it, please drop us a text on our Facebook and we'll try to connect with you. I hope you enjoyed the session. If anything is there, any question, any information you required from me, just let me know so that I can try to help you out in this. So thank you for joining the session.